Shalom. Good morning. I was reading through Second Chronicles and I felt led to share this with all of you. So throughout the books of Kings and Chronicles, something you see is that when the kings were loyal to God and faithful, and they were removing the idols and obeying God, they would be blessed with a time of restoration and peace. And the story of King Asa really stood out to me. So looking at Second Chronicles chapter 14, there was peace in the land for 10 years already because of his father obeying. Now when King Asa comes into power, he does what's pleasing and good in the sight of the Lord, right? He removes the foreign altars and the pagan shrines, just like in our lives, when we reject sin and we reject the distractions and the idols in our lives, right? God gives us peace. He provides restoration. He blesses that. And now King Asa commands the people of Judah to seek the Lord. He commands them to seek the Lord. Removing the pagan shrines, the incense altars. Verse 6, during those peaceful years, he was able to build up the fortified towns throughout Judah. So during a time of peace, we're able to restore and strengthen our relationship with the Lord. Given us peace on every side. They went ahead with these projects and brought them to completion. Now they're faced with a huge army, the Ethiopian army. They're greatly outnumbered. And what does King Asa do? He cries out to the Lord. Instead of relying on anything else, he cries out to God. And in verse 11, O Lord, no one but you can help the powerless against the mighty. Help us, O Lord, our God, for we trust in you alone. This is complete trust and reliance on God, undivided. It is in your name that we come against this vast horde. O Lord, you are our God. Do not let mere men prevail against you. And the Lord defeats the Ethiopians, and the enemy fled, it says in verse 12. Now, doesn't this remind you of James 4:7? Therefore, submit yourselves to God, resist the enemy, and he will flee from you. So when we come into submission to God and we humble ourselves before him, we resist the devil, right? That's an active stance. He flees from us. So now God defeats that Ethiopian army. Not only that, but King Asa and his army walk away with a vast amount of plunder. So not only does God rescue him, but they walk away with treasures. They walk away with, an abundance of things they can use. God operates in the overflow. Now, this is where I really was moved in chapter 15. Then the Spirit of God came upon Azariah, son of Oded, and he went out to meet King Asa as he was returning from the battle. This is what he says. Listen to me, Asa, he shouted. Listen, all you people of Judah and Benjamin. The Lord will stay with you as long as you stay with him. Whenever you seek him, you will find him. But if you abandon him, he will abandon you. For a long time, Israel was without the true God, without a priest to teach them, and without the law to instruct them. But whenever they were in trouble and turned to the Lord, the God of Israel, and sought him, they found him. Doesn't this echo Jeremiah 29:13? You will seek me and you will find me when you seek me with your whole heart, with an undivided devotion. During those dark times, it was not safe to travel. Problems troubled the people of every land. Nation fought against nation and city against city, for God was troubling them with every kind of problem. Verse 7, but as for you, be strong and courageous, for your work will be rewarded. Isn't this a call to us to persevere, knowing that as Hebrews 11:6 indicates, God rewards those who sincerely seek him. Our perseverance is never in vain. to remain faithful and obedient and undivided towards God is going to bless us. And maybe we don't see it right away, and it's not in the way that we expect, but God is true to his word and he is faithful to us. So what is King Asa's response to such a beautiful word that he receives? He took courage and removed all the detestable idols from the land of Judah and Benjamin and in the towns he had captured in the hill country of Ephraim, and he repaired the altar of the Lord. To remove all the things in our life that are taking us away from our love of the Lord and repair the altar of the Lord in our life, to come back into that first burning fire love that we once knew. That is what we should all be in a pursuit of, because it is possible to be on fire for the Lord more and more every day. Then what happens? Asa calls together all the people of Judah and Benjamin. He calls everyone together and they make sacrifices. Verse 12, they entered into a covenant to seek the Lord, the God of their ancestors, with all their heart and soul. They agreed that anyone who refused to seek the Lord, the God of Israel, would be put to death. Talk about radical, whether young or old, man or woman. They shouted out their oath of loyalty to the Lord with trumpets blaring and ram's horns sounding. Can you just envision this? The joy, the dramatic like sounds and celebration going on, because they're all coming together, declaring an oath, a covenant, that they're all going to seek the Lord with all their heart and soul. They earnestly sought after God, and they found him. And the Lord gave them rest from their enemies on every side. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. King Asa even deposed his grandmother, Maacah, from her position as queen mother because she had made an obscene Asherah pole. This reminded me of Luke chapter 14, verse 25. This is an example of what we would call radical devotion. What King Asa did, he removed his grandmother from her position because she wasn't completely loyal to the Lord. Verse 25, a large crowd was following Jesus. He turned around and said to them, if you want to be my disciple, you must by comparison hate everyone else, your father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even your own life. Otherwise, you cannot be my disciple. Now, Jesus is not teaching us to hate, because we know that his greatest commandment was one of selfless love, which is true godly agape love. It's being selfless. It's considering others in the greater whole other than yourself. What Jesus is saying here is he's looking for undivided loyalty. That's what it takes to be a disciple of Jesus. And the world might call it radical. And sometimes you'll hear me call it radical loyalty, but really it's a norm. This should be the norm for a disciple of Jesus, that we're so devoted to him that if anything comes in the way, we're always going to choose Jesus over our own life, over family, over anyone. Verse 28, but don't begin until you count the cost. And just going over to verse 33, so you cannot become my disciple without giving up everything you own. Does that mean I have to sell everything I have right now and go backpacking and be a missionary? Some people might be called to do that, but what Jesus is talking about is a heart posture that is willing to forsake whatever it is because you love him so much. That is the kind of love response that we are to have to him. We're willing to say no to whatever it is that's not aligned with his truth, with his word. And what is the result of whenever we express this kind of undivided loyalty to God? Does that mean you're going to be missing out on pleasure and, oh man, I have to let go of that friendship, or I have to quit this job, or I have to stop partaking in this thing that I was finding pleasure in? Is God trying to ruin our fun? No, he always gives us something so much better, and it is always in the spirit. It always starts from the inside out, where the world deceives us thinking that we're going to find pleasure from the outside in. That's the lie right there. Jesus taught us that the richness is in the spiritual. It's in the spiritual realm, the unseen. That is why we walk by faith. We're walking with our spiritual eyes open, not relying so much on what we see with our physical eyes. We make a distinction in this world when we have this kind of love towards Jesus. Your life is going to speak that just by the way you live. You don't have to wear it so loud and proud on your t-shirts and, say it so much, even though that's good. But just the way you live is going to show Jesus to people. In verse 34 of Luke chapter 14, salt is good for seasoning, but if it loses its flavor, how do you make it salty again? That's a rhetorical question. You can't. So we are to make a distinction in this world. We add seasoning. We make this world, we're the light. Jesus said, you are the light in this world. So flavorless salt is good neither for the soil nor the manure pile. It is thrown away. I just want to encourage us all, and myself as well, to continue seeking him and pursuing him. And listen, sometimes it feels like we're taking one step forward and 2 steps back, 5 steps forward, 10 steps back. Our Christian walk is so unique and individual to us, but we keep placing our trust in the power of the blood of Jesus, moment by moment, day by day, knowing that by abiding in him, he is going to give us the strength to persevere. He's going to give you the strength and the clarity in the decisions that you're facing and whatever it is you're going through. And we're all suffering through something different in our lives, whether it's an intense suffering or a low-level suffering. We'll always be dealing with something as long as we're on this earth. And it provokes us to rely on him even more so we can look at it as a blessing, as an unsuspected grace. So let us be totally devoted to the Lord. Let us be so loyal to him that we're willing to be wrong for him to be right, that we're willing to let go of whatever behavioral pattern there is that we've been holding on to and just invite God into every part of our lives, down to the mundane. He cares so deeply for us. He loves us more than we could even handle. We can't even handle it. That's how much he loves us. And I just want to let you know, daughter of the God, son of God, you are so precious to him. You were purchased with a high price. So don't be down on yourself. Don't be discouraged. Be strong and courageous, for you will be rewarded. All right? I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.